It was Sunday, the rain was relentless, a ceaseless symphony of water against the windows. Lightning laced through the sky, casting fleeting, eerie shadows that danced on the walls of the abandoned mansion. I stood alone in the dimly lit foyer, surrounded by faded grandeur and an unsettling sense of solitude. It had been a mistake, seeking shelter here on this stormy night. The mansion stood as a relic of forgotten opulence, its splendor now decayed and shrouded in a thick layer of dust. The air was heavy with the scent of decay and dampness, and a chill seemed to permeate my very bones. With no other options, I ventured deeper into the mansion, the creaking floorboards beneath my feet a haunting chorus. The flickering candle in my hand barely illuminated the darkness, creating more shadows than it banished. The portraits on the walls watched me with empty eyes, their subjects long gone and their stories forgotten. A gust of wind rattled the windows, causing me to jump. My heart raced as I forced myself to move forward, my steps echoing through the cavernous hallways. Every shadow seemed to writhe and shift, taking on a life of its own in the flickering candlelight. A distant howl of wind mixed with the sound of rain tapping against the windows, creating an eerie melody that reverberated through the mansion. I stumbled upon a grand ballroom, its chandeliers hanging like frozen crystal tears from the ceiling. It was in this room that I first felt a sensation of being watched. Whispers, barely audible, seemed to emanate from the corners of the room. My breath caught in my throat as I turned, the candlelight casting long shadows that danced in rhythm to my pounding heart. There, in the corner, I glimpsed a figure, a specter draped in tattered finery, its face hidden in darkness. I blinked, and the figure was gone. My heart raced as I backed away, my mind concocting explanations for the apparition. Exhaustion, stress, perhaps even the product of an overactive imagination. But the feeling of being watched persisted, an unshakable sensation that clung to me like a shroud. A door at the end of the hallway beckoned me, and despite my fear, I couldn't resist its pull. The door creaked open to reveal a study, the shelves lined with decaying books and forgotten secrets. As I scanned the room, my gaze fell upon an old photograph on the desk, a family frozen in time, their smiles masking the darkness that surely lay beneath. With a shiver, I tore my gaze away, only to meet the eyes of the figure once more. It stood in the doorway, its form translucent and ethereal. My throat tightened as I tried to speak, but words escaped me. The figure raised an arm, pointing down the hallway, its intent clear. With the candle held tight, I stumbled through the mansion's corridors, guided by an unseen force. The whispers grew louder, voices from the past intertwining with the storm's tumultuous song. The mansion seemed alive with memories, each step I took leading me deeper into its hidden history. Finally, I found myself in a grand chamber, a room untouched by time. The figure stood before an ornate mirror, its reflection distorted by age and decay. And then, as if in response to an unspoken request, the figure turned to face me. In the dim light, I could see its eyes, a haunting blue that held a mixture of sorrow and longing. It reached out a hand, palm upturned, and for reasons beyond my comprehension, I placed the candle in its grasp. The figure nodded once, its gaze fixated on the flame. And then, in a gust of wind that seemed to come from nowhere, the candle was extinguished, plunging the room into darkness. Panic surged within me, my breath coming in ragged gasps. And then, slowly, a pale blue light emanated from the figure's outstretched hand. It cast a soft glow that illuminated the room, revealing its true splendor. The walls were adorned with tapestries, their colors vivid and vibrant once more. The furniture gleamed with polished wood, and the mirrors reflected faces, familiar faces of the family in the photograph. The figure turned to me, its eyes no longer empty but filled with gratitude. It extended its hand once more, gesturing toward the mirror. Hesitantly, I approached, my reflection merging with the figures in the glass. In that moment, I felt a rush of emotions, loneliness, sorrow, but also a sense of closure. As the storm raged on outside, I became part of the mansion's history, a participant in its long-forgotten story. And as I faded into the tapestry of time, the mansion whispered its gratitude, the storm's symphony now accompanied by the echoes of its newfound solace.